A man discovered something horrifying after work. A female colleague had been brutally murdered. Jack quickly ducked behind a wall, not daring to make a sound. He soon made his way to the restroom to hide, only to find the security guard had also been killed. Jack accidentally triggered the toilet flush, and the loud rushing sound echoed through the space. To avoid being detected by the killer, he hurriedly closed the door and stepped on his colleague's body. The killer soon entered the restroom. Fortunately, he didn't notice anything unusual. After cleaning the blood from his face, the killer slowly left the restroom. Once it was completely quiet outside, Jack seized the chance to escape. He ran into another colleague and quickly told him about the killer. The two rushed to the elevator, planning to escape, but found it had been shut down. Even the stairwell door had been locked by the killer. Jack told his colleague to return to his workstation and call the police, while he went to find their boss, who was working late. But just as the colleague grabbed his phone to call 911, the killer appeared behind him. The killer strangled him with an electrical cord. Despite the colleague's desperate struggle, it was useless. Jack returned to his workstation and immediately picked up his phone to call the police, only to discover it was dead. He had no choice but to charge it first. When he turned around, he saw his colleague's corpse. Before he could even process his grief, he heard the killer's voice nearby. He quickly grabbed his colleague's access card and crawled into a corner to hide. Luckily, the killer didn't spot him. While the killer was moving the body, Jack quickly slipped into a storage room. But the killer dragged the corpse toward him. Jack felt utterly hopeless. Suddenly, a phone started ringing. The killer immediately dropped the colleague's body and left. Jack took the opportunity to run out of the storage room. However, what Jack didn't realize was that the call was from his girlfriend. After the killer hung up, he looked at the phone, which meant Jack's location was now exposed. Jack hid in an office and noticed someone in the building across the street. He frantically waved at them, but they didn't notice him, so he lit some paper and threw it in the trash can. As the fire grew bigger, he knocked over the trash can. The killer had already started searching for him. Fortunately, he caught the attention of the person across the street. Jack desperately signaled for them to call the police, but the killer smelled the burning and immediately grabbed a fire extinguisher, heading toward Jack. Hearing footsteps, Jack quickly fled the room but ran straight into the killer. Jack turned and ran, but the killer rushed into the room, put out the fire with the extinguisher, and then signaled to the person across the street that the danger had passed. Jack soon hid in the server room. He elevated his access card privileges, then disabled everyone else's cards and destroyed the card reader. With the key cards disabled, the killer was suddenly unable to move freely throughout the building. Jack quickly turned off the office area lights and used his access card to successfully break into the boss's office. But just as he was about to explain the situation outside, the killer had already tracked him down. Jack quickly hid behind the door. The killer burst into the office. A woman was about to ambush him with a gun, but the killer got to her first. He then pointed the gun at the boss. Jack quietly slipped out. Strangely, the killer spared the boss.